I slept with him just for revenge, a married woman and a rich, handsome guy. But when I tried to leave, he pushed me into a deeper abyss. You can't leave me, or I'll make you wish you were never born. He said his love for me was destined from the moment we met until death. Anamara had been watching the whole time. At this moment, she truly didn't know what to say. Isabel. Bang. Isabel Lopez hurled her phone hard against the wall. Jason Smith! You goddamn bastard! Anamara quickly pulled her into a hug. Isabel, you're pregnant now. Don't get too emotional. Isabel Lopez rested her chin on her friend's shoulder as tears poured down. Some things she had always taken as they came, but now that her heart felt like it was shattering, everything became painfully clear. She thought what she felt for Jason Smith was mostly gratitude, but now, as pain flooded her chest, she suddenly realized she had unknowingly given him her whole heart. Anamara, he actually wants me to be the other woman. He wants me to be the other woman. What kind of nonsense was that? If she could accept it, they could still be together after he married someone else. Jason Smith, you're a damn scumbag. She didn't want to cry, but the tears just wouldn't stop. She never meant to fall so deep, but she got caught in his web of tenderness, gave him her heart, and now it lay shattered. She hated him so much. But damn it, she missed him even more. Isabel, maybe it's all a misunderstanding. After all, none of those words came directly from Jason Smith himself, Anamara said gently, stroking her back. I don't know. I really don't know anymore. I'm a divorced woman, and the Smith Corporation is a mountain of gold. When he weighs the two on a scale, me versus that fortune, I don't know which way it tips. Anamara let go of her, wiped her tears, and said seriously, Then let's wait. Wait until Jason Smith stands in front of you and tells you himself that he's letting go. Or wait until you see him marry someone else with your own eyes. Isabel Lopez's face was streaked with tears. In love, she was just another ordinary, fragile woman. But Jason Smith, he had never lied to her. So how could someone who once said he loved her to the bone now abandon that love for money? If she could, she still wanted to believe him. She leaned forward, resting her head gently on Anamara's chest. Anamara, he said, he and the baby are the most precious things in his life. He won't abandon us, right? Anamara stroked her hair. Right. If you love him, then at least believe in him this once. I do believe him. Smith residence. Mom, give me back my phone. Jason Smith hadn't expected the call to be cut off right as he spoke, or that the phone would be taken away. Mom, I just wanted to talk to her, tell her not to worry. Madam Smith sneered coldly. She had only staged the whole thing, never intended to actually let them speak. You still have half a day to think it over. Jason Smith shook his head. I'll say it again. If it's not Isabel Lopez, I won't marry anyone. Mom, are you trying to drive me to death? You won't die. At least, not yet. You're not willing to die just yet. She glanced at him and walked off. I will never marry another woman. I'd rather walk away from the Smith family. I don't need any of it. You can't keep me locked up forever. Her steps paused. She turned and looked at him, her eyes sharp as ice. You'd say such outrageous things for a used woman. Looks like Isabel Lopez really is a curse. You're completely bewitched. Jason Smith laughed coldly. Unless you plan to lock me up for life, I will not give you another chance. If you hate Isabel Lopez so much, fine, we'll just stay away from you forever. Madam Smith ignored him and walked forward again, eyes narrowing with cruel intent. A filthy little girl thinks she can steal my son. I won't allow it. Jason Smith never came back, so Isabel Lopez decided she wouldn't stay there either. By evening, she packed up and returned to her own home. Anamara, don't worry about me. Go pick up Megan. The little girl was still at kindergarten. I told you to come stay at my place, but you wouldn't. I don't feel good leaving you alone. It's fine. I'll take care of myself. I'm still waiting for Jason Smith to come back. Anamara nodded. All right, I'll come check on you again tomorrow. That night, Isabel Lopez, weighed down by emotion, didn't sleep well. She got up early the next morning. She checked the fridge in the kitchen, but since she wasn't good at making breakfast, she changed clothes and went out to buy some instead. Just outside her alleyway, across the street, there was a porridge shop with a decent menu. After buying breakfast, Isabel Lopez left the shop. The pedestrian light turned green. She slowly followed the crowd onto the crosswalk. But just as she reached the center of the road, a large motorcycle coming from the wrong direction suddenly sped toward her. "Isabel!" Someone shouted her. Name it was a familiar voice. But in that split second, before she could react, she felt her body being flung into the air. Pain. It felt like her entire body had shattered into pieces. She seemed to hit the ground hard. Everything around her blurred. She couldn't make out the people, the surroundings, or even the sounds. "Isabel! Isabel! Isabel!" Anna Mara dropped the lunch container in her hands and ran over like crazy. She held Isabel Lopez, covered in blood, trembling as she dared not move her too much, afraid she'd hurt her more. "Isabel! Call an ambulance! Someone call an ambulance!" "Please call an ambulance." She cried and screamed at the onlookers, begging them desperately. Her hands were stained with Isabel Lopez's blood-bright red and shocking to the eye. "Ana Mara." Isabel Lopez couldn't move. Her lips twitched slightly, as if she had so many things to say, but opening her mouth only made the pain worse. Still, through the pain, she felt the heat flooding between her legs. She knew she had lost the baby she was carrying with Jason Smith. "Isabel, don't speak. Don't speak. Stay strong, okay? The ambulance is almost here. Just hold on." Ana Mara sobbed, wiping the blood from the corners of her lips. "Jason Smith will be back soon. You said you'd wait for him." Isabel Lopez used up all her strength to open her mouth, but all that came out was blood. "Ana Mara, I want to see him one last time." She missed him, even if it was just once more. She missed him so much. Whether he betrayed her or not, she still wanted to see him. She hadn't even had the chance to tell him that she loved him. But she knew she wouldn't be able to wait for him. The pain was so intense, it felt like her soul was being ripped out. She couldn't hold on. Annie Moresh was being pulled into a terrifying darkness. "Isabel!" Smith residence. On the leather sofa, the man suddenly jolted awake. His handsome face had gone pale. "What's wrong with me?" He clutched his chest. For a moment, it felt like someone had stabbed him in the heart, sharp and unbearable. Panic and chaos suddenly flooded his mind, like something terrible had just happened. "Isabel! Isabel!" His face white as a sheet. The only person he could think about was her. It had already been 3 days. He hadn't given in. So had his mother done something to Isabel? Otherwise, why would he feel so uneasy? "I want to see Jason Smith," came a familiar voice from outside. Jason Smith rushed to the window and saw Carlos Mara standing outside the door. "I said I want to see Jason Smith there, you all deaf." Carlos Mara frowned. The guard at the door said coldly, "Madam's orders. No one is allowed to see the young master without her permission." "I do have your madam's permission. The Smith Corporation's bidding case in Sea City has already been greenlit by Mayor Jack. Now he wants to speak with your young master personally before stamping the approval. It's a multi-billion project. Can any of you afford the delay?" The guards exchanged glances. Jack, they couldn't afford to offend him. And a bidding delay? Even worse. "But, Mr. Carlos Mara, you can speak through the door." "You idiot! This is high-level business. Of course I need to ask him in person on behalf of Jack. Besides, you want random outsiders like you overhearing this?" "Look, there are more of your brothers guarding the compound. I'm just an outsider, right? I'm not here to mess with your madam, so stop wasting time." The guards looked at each other again. Carlos Mara added, "Jack only gave me 10 minutes for a reply. Think carefully. I only need 5. You can relax." The guards hesitated for another second before saying, "Fine, we'll trust you this once, but don't try anything else." "Of course. Open it up." One of the guards pulled out a card and swiped the sensor on the door. With a beep, the door unlocked. Carlos Mara didn't rush in. Jason Smith had already walked to the door. Chen. Jack asked me to check with you about the Sea City bidding case," Carlos Mara said as he gave him a meaningful glance. After being brothers for years, that kind of unspoken communication was instinct. The moment Carlos Mara gave the signal, he suddenly turned and grabbed one of the guards. At the same time, Jason Smith moved in, and in just a few swift moves, they had taken down both guards at the door. "Catch!" Carlos Mera tossed a handgun to Jason Smith. Your mom posted over a dozen more guards around the compound. How did you know I was at the Smith residence? Your girl tipped me off. But I wasn't around then, I just got back today. What about Isabel? No idea, Carlos Mera replied as they moved out. Suddenly his phone rang. He looked down, and his brows furrowed. It's your sister! Who are you calling names? It's a call from Kristen Cindy. Carlos Mera answered the call, and within just 2 seconds, his face changed. He looked at Jason Smith. Bro, it's Isabel. She was in a car accident. Jason Smith's eyes widened. He grabbed the phone. Kristen! Where's Isabel? Cousin, she's covered in blood. So much blood. They've taken her into surgery already. Kristen Cindy was crying on the other end.